Clarinet and flute are two musical instruments that belong to the woodwind family, while the term flute is also used to refer to a broad category of wind instruments, including instruments such as piccolo, recorder, and fife. The Western concert flute is typically considered to be a standard flute. Now we explain the difference between clarinet and flute. So, if you would like to consider them for your needs, this video must be beneficial for you. Let's dive into the depths of this video. The clarinet is a wind instrument with a single reed. The body of this instrument resembles a cylindrical tube with holes. It also has a cylindrical bore, which allows its diameter to remain fairly constant throughout its length. The mouthpiece of the clarinet has a reed attached to it, and the sound is produced by blowing through the mouthpiece, making the reed vibrate. The musician playing the clarinet should also cover the holes in the instrument with his fingers in order to produce a musical note. The term flute is applied to a number of wind instruments that produce sound from the flow of air across an opening. Several instruments such as piccolo, recorder, fife, and bansuri are considered to be flutes. Flutes are basically made from a tube with holes, which can be stopped with keys or fingers. Flutes can be categorized into several broad groups such as fipple flutes and non-fipple flutes, side-blown and blown flutes, etc. This distinction is difficult to miss, even when not listening to both instruments side by side. The clarinet has a distinctively fuller and cleaner sound, while the flute produces notes on a higher frequency and with more debris. As it may, the underlying principles of these distinctive sonic qualities are related to the blowing mechanism and the anatomy of both instruments. The first trait you would notice is the taper at the end of the clarinet. This is called the bell, a feature that's completely absent from the flute. This profile grants the clarinet a peculiar sound that's not quite like the saxophone nor the flute, albeit the presence of a reed would undoubtedly make it more akin to the former. Speaking of registers, it's worth mentioning that while the flute has a similar pitch range to the clarinet on paper, with both being in the soprano range, the clarinet manages to reach a minor seventh lower than the flute while being able to play just as high. However, it must be stressed that the clarinet's tone at the higher ranges struggles. Meanwhile, flutes can deliver much more wholesome and stable notes at those registers, which is why ensembles entrust flutes with high notes in lieu of clarinets more often than not. This is the second yet most obvious difference. Clarinets are single reed instruments with an entirely different blowing mechanism than what is found on the flute. Flutes are blown through an embouchure hole in the lip plate at a certain angle so that, as the air hits an edge, it splits and bounces through the inner tube and creates the air column. On the clarinet, sounds are easier to produce, and the embouchure required is much more comfortable, albeit increasingly painful during prolonged playing or rehearsal sessions. Nevertheless, it bears pointing out that clarinets have three particularly weak notes, called throat notes. As the name suggests, these notes resonate at the instrument's throat instead of at the bell, yielding a weak delivery. Comparing two strong competitors is not just an easy task. However, we've done a little, but choose yours one according to your preferences. This video is just a help over the topic. Hope this video helped you out. Thanks for watching till the end.